all, welcome to another Marcus Talent podcast. Today we're talking about talents. Well, God has given a lot of talents, but what should we use them for, and is it all really inborn in us? Learn that and more, because we're going to learn about that today. Well, God gave us lots of gifts, you could call them talents. Now, there are many talents like writing, painting, crafting, carving, etc. Some people don't use that talent or use it for the wrong reasons. What is the right reason though? It is to spread and glorify God, to spread and glorify the good news, to spread and glorify God's news. And you also need to use your gifts to help others. Like Jesus said, love God and love others. If you don't use your gifts, the world might never see it, and you should sharpen your talents. And if you leave a bike or car outside, it goes rusty. Rustic is a car. That you can take for sure. For example, First Peter 4 verse 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Now, to sharpen your talents, God plants a seed in you and you need to grow it. Like James says in James 2 verse 14 to 26. Basically, James says a man is justified not by works alone, or not by faith alone or works. He adds that faith without works is dead. Now let's keep reading. So let's see what more do we have here. So what more do we have to dig in and read and understand? We have to sharpen our abilities. In the Old Testament, we come across a person who treasured and cultivated his gifts. Let's read it. Exodus 31 1-5. Then the Lord said to Moses, see, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, U-R-I basically just spelling, from the tribe of Judah. Uri was the son of Hur. I have filled Bezalel with the Spirit of God and have given him the skill, ability and knowledge to do all kinds of work. He is able to design pieces to be made from gold, silver and bronze, to cut jewels and put them in metal, to carve wood, to do all kinds of work. God needed his tabernacle to be built, and he gave the talent to Bezalel. The thing is, he gave the talent to Bezalel because he could do great work with designing the temple with God's help. That was his gift with God's help. We have to use our gifts with God's help to glorify God. Like Isaiah 43 verse 7 says, everyone who is called by my name, whom I have created for my glory, I have formed. Sorry for that interruption. I have formed him. Yes, I have made him. So, what was that bell about? Well, it was saying big hint alert. What is our big hint alert? Well, we are made in God's glory for my glory. So we are made for God's glory. So, yes, we are. I have made him. God says, for what? For my glory. Now, remember, all talents should be used. Remember that car or bike analogy? So, in the parable of the talents, the bad person buried his talent, and you should not bury your gift or your talent, or and we know what happened to him. The talent he had was taken away from him and given to the one who had made many. And He was kicked out. In the Old Testament, we meet another such person. He had the ability and the talent with God's help to become the first king of Israel. He was 1 foot taller than everyone else. And God gave him the courage to become king. Well, he was hiding behind a trash can, but you know. But he used his talents at first, but then he got prideful, had an evil spirit there, and then he did not use his talent to glorify God. He used it to glorify him. He didn't obey God, and he didn't have the patience to wait for Samuel the prophet to offer sacrifices to God. So because of that, and much more, much more, remember that, much more, God took the kinghood of Saul away and gave it to little David. Who is this? King Saul, of course. Remember Revelation 4 verse 11, KJV. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things for thy pleasure. They are and were created. Always use your talents for the glory of God, because we are created for manifesting His glory. Remember that. Always use your talents for the glory of God, because we are made for manifesting His glory. So, our talent is inborn in us. We just have to unravel it. Remember Proverbs 22 verse 29. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Now you might say, what does obscure mean? Well, let's see. The meaning of the word obscure is mostly a person who's not serb or anything. But you might say, how does this have anything to do with that? Well, these people are unserb or anything. They are low compared to kings with God's help. Compared to kings, they're very low. Kings with God's help are high. In the parable of the talents, the master tells the one who multiplied his talents, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. We, with God's help, should have that kind of response. With God's help, all of us should have that response from God, our Maker. See that today, folks. Hope you learned about our talents and the parable of the talents. Hope you enjoyed seeing this today, folks. With God's help, bye. See you soon. The end, folks.